Hey everybody, my name is Nathan and welcome to Thirsty Thursdays with Talktails. It's a pleasure to be here. We have a lot of fun in store for everybody and I'm excited to get into it. So Talktails is a hybrid mixology company and we are partnering with Market to bring some cool activities. We've got guests, maybe some special guests as well. We have activities and games and we're going to try and work on cocktail appreciation and teaching you some new skills along the way. So today, my job is to introduce what we're doing here, which is creating a cocktail together. You're going to go slowly, step by step, and hopefully have a good time. Be able to, if you have things at home to use, you can obviously follow along with me. If you just get inspired, you have to run out and grab something, there are kits available on Market for you as well. So I'm going to show these lovely tools. First, I have for you a little setup as well. So if you want to go out and grab one of these beautiful Boston style shakers, these are called Boston shakers because they were invented in the city of Boston. Past that, that's just what they're called. They're tins, they're shakers, any sort of term for that. Then we have right here our measuring tool. These come in lots of different styles. So the biggest thing to know about your measuring tool, if you are following along at home, that your measurement might be a little bit different than mine. So I will speak out the measurements that I'm using and just check and make sure before you pour that yours are the same size as mine. If not, that is okay. And then finally, if you have one of these guys, if you've ever seen behind a bar, one of these little bunny-eared fellows, this is a Hawthorne strainer. And what this does is it lets us lock and hold in our ice chips and other sort of debris inside our tins. So if you've ever seen a bartender use that, that is what it's for. You can use it as well. What we do is we open and close the gate. So that is the locking mechanism. That's what that's called right there. And then I have my assortment of ingredients that I need. So today I am making a daisy. And a daisy, folks might know the most famous daisy cocktail. And especially our Spanish speakers in the audience today will know that a daisy is also known as a margarita. So the most famous daisy is a margarita, which in Spanish is kind of like a fun way of saying a little daisy flower. And a daisy, the biggest determinative of a daisy is the addition of a liqueur. So I'm going to be using an elderflower liqueur in this cocktail today. But we are going to start with, if you need a moment to go grab something, we are going to need a citrus of some kind. So today I have lime juice, but you could do substitute lemon as well. I would say if you have orange juice in the fridge, to avoid using that because orange is what is called a half citrus. It's not as sour as me. So if you have a lemon or a lime, that's what you need. I'm going to take my measuring tool right here. This is my Japanese style jigger, two-sided. My small side has a single ounce, and I'm going to be holding it in my non-dominant hand. So I'm going to go grab my lime juice and do 3/4 ounces. Or 1.5 tablespoons, because we can do the conversions for that. I'm sorry to our international friends. I don't know the metric system very well. I went to American public school. So I'm going to say ounces and tablespoons. I have my 3/4 ounces of lime juice inside of my tin. And now I can go to my sweetener. So here I have a sweet cherry syrup. At home, you could use a simple syrup if you have access to that. any kind of syrup will do. The beauty about cocktails is that they are expressive. You can create and do variations on themes as long as you know the formula. So here we have a sweet cherry syrup. We have lots of different available syrups that go in our seasonal kits. So if you get hooked on one syrup, you could follow it along in our kits on market. I am doing just a quarter ounce. That is half a tablespoon. And that is because the elderflower that we're about to use also is sweet. So we want to balance that out. So I have my elderflower, and I'm going to do a half an ounce or 1 tablespoon. Now, this elderflower liqueur has a nice alcohol volume to it. So when we add our base spirit, it is going to be a little heavy. The first sip that you take, it might be a little strong, as the kids say, a little strong. But what we want to do is when we're adding ice, we're shaking and going to be watering down the cocktail. We're then going to let it sit while we sip it. So the first sip might be a little heavy, but it's going to go on a bit of a journey with the ice as you enjoy it. And then by the end, you might be like, hey, I want another one because your final sip might taste a little too sweet. So that is ideal. So if it seems like, whoa, we're adding like a lot of alcohol in here, that it's by design and it should all even out. So my final step is I'm going to open one of these little 50 milliliter, and there you go, I did say metric, 50 milliliter bottles of tequila, which would be about 2 ounces. And so if you were at a bar and you ordered a beverage, typically they're going to do a 2 ounce pour. So that is what we have built this around, and it comes out tasting delicious because we're after balance in all things. Bartenders trying to make sure everything stays nice and balanced. The levels are even, the sweets and the sours and the bitters and this maybe throw a little savory in there every once in a while. But we want to make sure that nothing outshines anything else. So that is why we are after balance. So now that I have my 3/4 ounces of my sour, my lime juice, I have a 1/4 ounce of my syrup, half an ounce of my liqueur, and then 2 ounces of my base spirit, I am ready to add ice. So ice is going to be the most important thing, maybe not most important since we're dealing with the alcohol, and that's why we're all here really, but the, let's say, second most important element of making cocktails, because the ice is going to affect how cold it gets. It's also going to affect the ice chips, so the volume and mouthfeel inside of your drink when you take your first sip, and it changes the molecular function of the components in the drink as well. So we're going to smash together all of these liquids, get them rolling around and doing their thing, so that then they become something that's better than the sum of their parts. And I'm glad that some people are drinking and watching while they're going along. So that is good. That makes me feel like we're going to have a good time if the audience is drinking as well. So I'm going to grab some ice, and I need to make sure I have enough ice chips so that several of these sit not even touching the alcohol, because what we're after is enough to be able to properly shake down the drink. So if you throw in just like 1 or 2 chips, it is going to get it maybe cold, but it's not going to give you that volume and the little chips of ice on top of your beverage that we're after. So I have like 6 or 7 cubes in here, and then I'm going to get ready to close my shaking table. So I'm going to go to this view for you so you can see what I've done. I've got a lot of cubes in here, and then I'm going to place my large side of my tin top of the small side at an angle. So as you can see, those aren't like even on there. There's one heavy side and then an overhang as well. So what that does, it allows me to have some give and allow air to escape as I shake, which is really important, because if things got all packed up in there, it could maybe pop. So I did a little tap on top, and then I'm going to flip it to myself. If this is the first time you're watching somebody show how to shake, let me know. I hope maybe you learned something as we go along. I feel like everybody's seen bartenders shake, but these are the reasons behind it, which makes it kind of fun. And another important aspect to know when you go to shake is you want to get a little song in your head. So keep that in mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little twist off to the side. Didn't know bartending was a workout, but we have very strong cores, and this is why. So I'm activating my core, doing a little twist to the side, and then I'm pulling in my elbows, nice and close to myself. And then what I'm going to do is make a horizontal V shape. So I'm going to start close and then go up and out, pull back to myself, down and out, pull back to myself. So as I do a little bit faster, you might hear the like sloshing around. And that's going to start to make that V, you see? And then if I go a little bit faster, I start to get that song in my head, you know? Get that little kind of like stank face going. And I'm going to go up to full speed for everybody. Kind of like a train leaving the station. And there we go. And I know I'm done when my fingers are really cold and there's perspiration on the tin. And I can open it like that. What I did there was I kind of squeezed the large side and then popped it off. And then let's check for ice chips and for foam. So we've got some nice foam in there, got some ice chips. That's what we're after. So this is ready to be served. All right. I am going to place on my Hawthorne strainer and grab a serving glass. So you can use any glass here. I am going to use pretty wide margarita glass because I know that my special guest can be a little bit messy, so I just want to give him enough give as possible. So I'm going to pour out here. As I pour, I'm going to pull up and get that nice high pour. Beautiful. And then this could be garnished with however we really feel. Inside the kits, there are going to be some dried fruit, some lovely dried fruit. So I will take a large citrus, and I might crack it on the side to give it a little scoring, which allows me to add a nice visual element onto the side there, like so. And voila, there we are. We just made a beverage together. Thank you so much, folks. I hope maybe you can follow along. If you had like scrambling in the kitchen and grabbing something to shake with, that is amazing. If you took some lessons while we did this together, then perfect as well. This daisy is ready to be shared because the important thing about cocktails is that they are for sharing. So I'm going to invite my very special friend Marv in to taste this lovely beverage. Marv, could you there he is. Look at that. Marv. Oh, really? Do you have something in your mouth? Is it? What is that?
I'm again.
Oh, thank you. Hibiscus flower. I mean, hibiscus flower is delicious, Marv, but it has already been in your mouth. So I'm going to put it off to the side. Thank you. But I did make something for you.
Oh, you're kidding me.
So here you are. Here's your daisy.
Ooh.
Yeah. What do you think? It smells good. The aromatics.
What's in it? What's in it?
Well, we made it with a elderflower liqueur, and I know you like that. You're a fan. Yep. And then tequila. Are you a tequila drinker?
The nectar of the gods.
There we go. Look at that. We got him.
Are you kidding?
It's like I knew you.
Oh, right.
So take a sip, Mark.
Okay.
And while you're drinking, so Mark, you've been bartending for a long time, right?
Yes, that is correct, Nathan.
Is there any wisdom that you could impart onto the folks here?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. First thing you do is if you see somebody light up a cigarette at your bar, you light it for them.
I don't think that people can smoke at bars anymore.
What? No. That's normal stuff. That's normal stuff.
Okay, well, yeah. Any other like more so, creating cocktail kind of recommendations or something like that.
Yeah, you pick a bottle of whiskey, you put it in the glass, and you give it a little stir with your thumb, and then you call it a day.
Okay, that's also I mean,
40 years, Nathan. 40 years.
He has been bartending for a long time.
I've served the mayor. I've served
the mayor of what?
The mayor of Smallville.
Smallville.
Yes, where I'm from.
Okay. Anybody tuning in from Smallville?
So drinks on me.
Yeah, Marv will get you the next time.
Oh, so I do really like this drink. Let me give another sip.
You got some on you there.
Oh yes, clean my glasses for me. Thank you. I am the world's only bartending sock puppet.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you about that. So,
sure.
Bartending I do it, so I can say that it is kind of difficult. It's a little bit of a involved process, right? You have to know the ingredients of everything. You got to know the proper form.
Yes.
You got to be able to help people.
Yes.
And I know you have all that down. But my question here is, how do you bartend without hands?
Oh, yes. So it's been a difficult task. It's a little bit tricky. People don't always like it, but you see this toothpick here? You see that toothpick? Yep. So this is a good tool for me as a bartending sock puppet. I just do a little stir, and then I use my mouth and my mustache to kind of clean the glasses, and my mouth kind of pick things up, and a little stir, and it's a little controversial.
Yeah, I could see how maybe some health code things.
Well, we keep that under the wraps.
Oh, okay. Mum's a word on the. I see. Yep.
I think it's because I'm a sock puppet. People don't give me that bad of a time.
They give you a pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So I think you did a pretty good job on this drink. I do need to know a little bit more. I'm a master and everything, but
yeah. You have any questions for me?
Yeah, absolutely. You made a really good drink there, Nathan.
Thank you.
And I want to make that same drink. So where would you talk about these cocktail kits? This drink's in there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so this is going to be the 5 o'clock somewhere, and that is inside. Yeah, I know, right? It's a nice name. So that is going to be inside the dealer's choice kit that is on market.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa! Okay, that's so cool.
Do you think you would get one of these?
Oh yeah. I get one for my niece.
Oh yeah, is she all okay? So is she also a puppet?
She's also a puppet.
Okay.
She's not a bartending puppet.
So there are no hands.
No hands.
Again. Again, how do you open cans of things?
My toothpick.
Oh yeah. See, you have an answer for everything.
I told you my toothpick.
Yep.
You see it?
Well, I can see that. Ella loves you, Marv.
Ella, I love you too. I'd make you a drink, Ella. I'd stir you a drink right here. I'd give it to you.
And Fanny said that she thought that you were going to drop the cup, but you didn't.
No. I'm 40 years, Fanny. 40 years.
He's been doing it for a long time, guys. And see, so Marv, I'm really glad that I invited you here to be the first guest on this Thirsty Thursday with Talktails on market. Because I feel like you really set the tone. I think that we have a really good baseline for guests now. People are going to have to know that Marv is the bar, and you got to get above Marv.
I am the bar.
And
I'm the world's only bartending sock puppet. And if anyone else tries to tell me that it's any different, I swear, I'll see them on social media.
Oh, you're on social media?
I am.
Oh, wow.
I'm on the Talktails social media.
Oh, how did I not know that?
Because I'm a bit famous.
I mean, you are. Yeah, you're a big personality.
But this is my first streaming on Market Live.
Oh, it's your first time doing streaming?
This is my first streaming.
Do you have any tips that you read on the internet on social media about streaming?
It said make sure you wear something neutral.
You did. You're in kind of like your own sock color.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah, I can't change my sock body.
Yeah.
But my bow tie is it's a bit flashy, but the rest of me is pretty good. And I'm not wearing pants.
Oh, so you're not wearing pants?
No pants.
Ever?
Nah.
Wow, an exhibitionist, folks. And you know what? I appreciate that as well. Marv, any more pearls of wisdom before you go?
I would say tip your bartender
Uh-huh.
and pick up one of these cocktail kits because it makes my life easier. Now I don't have to teach my niece.
Are you, Marv? I have a question. So you're in contact with Cocktails, right? Obviously.
Yes.
Do you think they'll ever let you design a kit?
Oh, I don't know. What do you think out there? Do you think I should design a kit?
We could get the Marv like classic kit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
With
you know what's gonna
toothpick?
be in it?
Toothpicks?
Whiskey and toothpicks.
Whiskey and tooth. How did I know? It's like I've met you before. Yeah. And a mustache comb.
Oh yes. It was so that's how we wash the glasses.
Mhm.
We can put a Marv glass in there too.
You good? Yeah.
Love it.
All right. So my people will talk to your people, Marv. I think that we have a real thing going here, and we'll see if we can get another Marv themed cocktails kit on market.
Okay, that sounds great, Nathan. Hey, Nathan, thank you so much for having me. This has been fantastic. And Market Life, it's so nice to meet everyone. We can't wait for the next appearance and the next cocktail we go through. I'll be back, and till then, drink good cocktail.
Drink good cocktail. He's gone. Okay, and he's gone. That's it. Say goodbye to Marv, everybody. He might be back, but we don't know. Like I said, we are going to have multiple guests. We are going to interview bartenders and have a good time and maybe do some games. We have some bar-themed games as well. But the focus is going to be on cocktail education. And I think we knocked it out of the park here. So again, to reiterate, what we made was a Daisy. Daisy is a sour, which has sour, a sweet, and our base spirit with the addition of a liqueur. So today we had our sweet cherry syrup, we had a lime juice, we used the elderflower liqueur, and our tequila. And this can all be found in our dealer's choice kit that is on market. We also have some other kits on market as well, including our tequila kit. So if you enjoy tequila, but you're like, hey, I want all tequila all the time, all day, we have that covered for you. To reiterate the tools that you might want to go out and grab if you want to be part of this in the future, if you want to tune in on Thursdays and be able to shake along with us, we are going to be using the Japanese style jigger. Their jiggers come in all shapes and sizes. There are different forms and formats. You might see another bartender on the show use a different style. They all work well, but again, as I reiterated at the beginning, you want to make sure that you know the sizes of your sides on your measuring tool. And then you're going to want to go and grab yourself some kind of shaking tool. There are lots of variations on this, of course, as well. There are some that are 3 parts. There are some that are a metal and a glass. All of this works great as long as we get the job done. And then finally, if you want to be real fancy, really up your game, we're going to use a Hawthorne strain. You'll be seeing us use these all the time, but any way that gets you there to be shaking good cocktails. And then also we can go over some glassware. So if you've ever been, you buy a bunch of glasses, you don't really know what the reason for them is. This is where I can elucidate that for you. So if you were going to make a cocktail that is to be served without ice, a stem glass is what you want. A stem glass is going to give you a place to hold. So if you ever see folks holding their stem glass like so, it is not necessary. It doesn't have to be that way. The stem is where you want to hold it so that you don't heat up the beverage with your fingers. If you want to serve your cocktail on ice, then a rocks glass is going to do the trick. A rocks glass gives you that volume to be able to add ice and fill in your glass well, and put some lovely garnish, like Marv gave me some hibiscus flowers you can see on the cocktail there. We could use that as garnish. And then if you're ever going to add some kind of soda, any sort of juice, then you want a tall glass. Collins glass, a pint glass will do well. Any variation on that. That's so you can get the whole breadth and scope of cocktails with us as we shake through. Today, I used this lovely cactus-themed margarita glass because it gave me a lot of depth and volume for Marv to enjoy. Oh, Hello. He's back. You have something else for me? Sorry, I gotta let them be able to see you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I got this. Oh, you want to twist it off? Oh no!
Did somebody say margarita?
Margaritas. Yeah, I love margaritas. So Marv, they're asking for the our Instagram.
Ooh, yes. Cocktails Entertainment.
Cocktails Entertainment.
Yep.
That's where you go.
Yep.
Beautiful. Thank you. You're so informative and helpful.
You know how to spell it?
So talk is in talking, right? Like what we're doing
just
right
like
now.
this. Talk.
And then I think it's tales, like a story.
Yes.
Yep. And then the word entertainment, which I'm not confident I could spell correctly right now.
Well, that's okay, because we're bartenders.
Yeah, it's not my job. I'm not to spell anything. I just have to shake things.
Yes. So Marv, the world's only bartending sock puppet, has been on Cocktails Entertainment and here now on Market.
Marv, one question for your bartending bona fides. So why would I shake this cocktail versus having stirred it? You know?
Oh boy, Nathan, that is a good question. Well, I'll tell you why. Because I got this toothpick.
Okay. But if someone had arms.
Oh. Well, I did learn this in the class once,
Mm-hmm.
and this was actually a cocktail class.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Marv is a student too.
Yep.
Look at that.
It's true. So basically, when you stir a cocktail, it doesn't have any lemon or lime.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you shake a cocktail, it's because it has citrus.
Ah, okay. So you have to shake it when there's citrus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
Why?
so why?
Because the citrus molecular structure is really finicky. It doesn't like to mix around with the rest of the molecules in the rest of the drink. So then you have to shake it to force the molecules together in order to make sure the cocktail gets thoroughly mixed.
I didn't know you had such a scientific mind, Marv. You surprise me every time we hang out. I learn something a little bit new about you and also things in general.
I'm not the world's only bartending sock puppet for nothing.
That's true.
Yeah.
And so then why would you stir a cocktail?
Because it has no citrus.
Okay, so there's no citrus. I can stir all I want.
Yeah, molecularly they dance together. They dance
They dance together. That's beautiful.
Thank you. I wrote it.
We're like little non-citrus cocktail molecules dancing
Exactly.
together.
That's like us being in a mixing glass together dancing.
That's good. Marv, can I give you a hug before we say goodbye?
Yes.
Because that has really touched my soul.
Oh my God.
All right.
I love you, Nathan.
I love you too. Okay. All right. Well, I didn't.
Toothpick.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right.
Sorry, it's my toothpick. It gets to the leg.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Marv. Thank you for joining us today. This is Thirsty Thursdays with Cocktails on Market. Before we go, just want to reiterate that you can find anything that we used on Market, and the kits can be shipped right to you. So everybody have a wonderful time checking things out, and I hope you have a lovely evening as well. Say bye, Mark.
Bye, everybody. Drinking the cocktail.
Drink the cocktails. Yes.